Attorney General Nessel joins us now. Attorney General, thanks for taking the time. Are you concerned that if Roe v. Wade is overturned, the state legislature in Michigan could try to ban abortion pills in your state?
I mean, technically speaking, abortion already is illegal on the books. The only thing that prevents prosecutors in our state or the attorney general in our state from enforcing that law is Roe v. Wade. And the second the Dobbs opinion is formally released, that 1931 law will become enforceable again. And so whether it's by medication, whether it's surgical, it doesn't matter. Abortion will be illegal in our state, period.
But how will that play out in terms of abortion pills? Could they effectively be banned then if this is overturned? You're saying it will become the law in effect, but in the reality, will that be how it all plays out?
Well, I think it's very possible. I mean, it depends on what jurisdiction you're talking about. It depends on who the prosecutor is. So we have 83 counties in our state, 83 duly elected prosecutors who all have at their discretion whether or not they're going to enforce this, archaic law. The individual who's running against me, the Republican opponent that I have, he's indicated very clearly that he intends to vigorously enforce this law and that he believes there should be no exceptions to it, not even to save the life of the woman. So if he succeeds me, do I expect that he will enforce this in all 83 counties? Absolutely, I do. And there'll be many county prosecutors who will do the same thing, whether it's an abortion medication or whether it is done surgically. It's not going to make a difference to them.
What happens if Roe v. Wade is overturned? You have said you won't enforce the law in that situation. What does that look like?
Well, look, prosecutors have wide discretion on what sort of cases they bring. I have different priorities than my predecessor. So for instance, I took a lot of the resources in our office that was being used to prosecute marijuana cases, and I diverted that into prosecuting sexual assault cases. I thought that should take precedence. Adultery is a crime in our state. I never prosecute it, nor do most prosecutors. There's lots of laws on the books that we, as prosecuting attorneys or as attorneys general, make the decision every day, what to prioritize and what not to prioritize. And to me, it's my job to protect the health, safety, and welfare of all 10 million people in the state of Michigan. That includes the 2.2 million women of childbearing age in my state. I'm not going to put their lives at risk, which is exactly what this law would do. I don't think I'm doing my job if I'm out there prosecuting women and doctors for what I believe to be a sacrosanct medical decision that is made in a doctor's office or between a woman and her family, not by politicians in the state legislature.
Are you communicating with other Democratic state attorneys general about how to handle this?
Yeah, we certainly have conversations about it. It's different in every state, right? My state is one of the few states with a Democratic AG where we have these sorts of laws that remain in place. In many states where they had them, they were repealed years ago, but not here in Michigan. And so, it's on the books. And of course, it's discretionary whether to enforce it or not. I'm not going to put the lives of my constituents in danger by enforcing a law that I think does a lot more harm than it does good.
What is your assessment of the opinion that has been leaked, the argument on a legal level?
I find it to be horrifying, but completely unsurprising. It was very clear, Donald Trump said this himself many times. He said that no one would go on the short list for a nomination to the Supreme Court unless they passed that litmus test, which is, were they willing to overturn Roe v. Wade? And irrespective, of course, of what we heard during the course of the hearings, we know that there are at least 5 votes, if not 6, to overturn Roe v. Wade expressly. And so it's unsurprising. The leak was surprising, but not the decision that we now expect to see come down at any time. We predicted this as soon as Donald Trump ascended to the presidency.
Attorney General Nessel, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.